Hello, thanks for watching us. You're viewing the SDGs Lead, which is a series of videos with prominent change makers worldwide. Today, I am delighted to communicate with Joanna Prieto from Bogota, Colombia, a consultant and coach, member of the Women Economic Forum, co-founder of GeekGirls Latam, a leading organization in Latin America in the empowerment of women and girls in technology. Her e-learning blog has received numerous awards for its enormous and outstanding contribution to education, communication, and digital culture in Colombia as well as in Latin America. Thank you so much for finding time and joining.
Thank you very much for this interview. Muchas gracias a todos los que nos escuchan en este momento.
Gracias. Today we will discuss innovation and gender equality. Innovation as a goal 9 in its particular aspect, gender equality goal number 5, and of course quality education, which is essential for all of the goals. Joanna, you have extensive experience in promoting e-learning and empowerment women entrepreneurs. How did you start your path while launching your incredible projects?
Thanks a lot for this interview and this opportunity to share my vision about education, girls, and technology and innovation here in Latin America. It all started when I was in just starting my university years, the first year. I was 18 years old and I got pregnant. I got pregnant very early. And because of that, I got to be at home to take care of myself and my pregnancy because I got sick a little bit. So in order to start or to keep studying, to keep a connection with the university and send my homework and all the stuff that happens in a classroom physically. So I got to make a deal with my professors and my classmates because I got to be at home. Then I remember I created my first email. That's why my email is 98, JPPR 98, because it was by the year 98 that I got to create my email. And through email, I started to, send all my commitments at the university and to keep connected and study with the university. And so it happens. I finished and I received an honor for that semester. But that showed me the possibility that we got in that moment, that we can use technology to help women in the different conditions, because it was my condition, no, that I was in a difficult pregnancy. But it happened. It can happen in any other context, no. So it gave me all the knowledge, the vision that maybe e-learning, but that time 98, it wasn't like today that is spread all over the world because of the pandemic. But that time it was not like consider that how can a person, someone, send or keep studying and have high performance and a woman. No. So a computer is like when Malala says a pencil and a teacher can make the difference. So here a computer, a woman, and this passion for going forward can make the difference no matter what happens. So that gave me everything, and it all started with that. So that was the first contact I have with e-learning. And that's all how it started.
What is the current scope of GeekGirls Latam and probably some future plans?
Yes, GeekGirls Latam nowadays is one of the well-known nonprofit organizations in Latin America. Our scope, or we aim to promote the talent of female girls and women around, of course, the world, but especially promoting the talent from Latin America. We want to promote them and through our own model, which is inspire, empower, and connect through the usage, appropriation, and creation of science and technology. We do believe, strongly believe, that if we help girls, especially girls, to appropriate and create technology that they consider in their life that they can create science and technology, we will have a next generation of potential scientists, astronomers, developers, computer science professionals that can create the world that we are looking for around the world with sustainability, creating science and technology towards development with social consciousness. So that's our mainly goal nowadays. So we are working hard with international cooperation with public and private companies here in Latin America to help especially girls in rural areas, vulnerable population, for example, women and youth that have been part of the war. Colombia had suffered during 60 years a war, so we are trying to um, like like get a new society, trying to build peace. So we consider that science and technology is important, and that women and girls definitely make a difference in this construction.
Absolutely, it's very empowering and inspiring purpose. It's very important when girls and women have the role models to follow, the feeling of that they are being supported, that they are moving shoulder to shoulder with other women. What would you say to girls dreaming to work in STEM fields? Probably to motivate them, to give them this internal push and feeling that they're expected in this field and they're appreciated.
Yes, you said something very important, Karina, is the role models. That's part of our model to inspire. So we show them, we show the girls, we go to schools, we go to college, we go to other social organizations, we go to the countryland and, and show them that they are women doing amazing things in science and technology. So they have the chance to model, to follow their path. So that's very important that we show girls, since they are children, little girls, that they have different possibilities, far from those that are used to be female roles, no? So that's one of the main things we do. So for those girls, I can say that start listening, start watching, reading stories of women that are making the difference around the world, because every woman has a story to tell. We are story makers and storytellers. So it's very important that we tell our own story, because behind each one of us, there's a knowledge, there's experience, there are failures, there are challenges that we have faced and surpassed that we can teach others. So that's very important to keep in touch as a community, or something that we call sisterhood. So it's very important to join. Women support each other. That's the first thing we have to start in. Women connecting other women and supporting other women. That sisterhood, and as we have this girl power, creating, thinking, and giving support to those that are coming behind us. I think that we can start maybe, yes, facing a different future and building this future that we really want to. And something that I consider that is something very revolutionary, let's say, is to raise their hand. You have to raise your hand and say, I'm here. This is what I think. This is what I want to do. No fear. Or if there's fear, no matter. With fear and all with that, we can start pursuing our dreams. So we have to work on our authenticity. That's something that I always said, because usually when we also look around and see that what others are doing, we tend to copy. No, that's to be inspired, but not to copy. We are unique. Every girl, every woman is unique. So we have to work in our inner development, believe, trust in us, believe that we can do it, believe that our authenticity, that we come to this world with our own talents, gift, that we have to put into service to the world. So that's my calling to girls and women.
Given the strengthening of the skills of women in terms of technology and disruptive technologies, the SDGs such as gender equality, education, innovation are mostly intertwined and correlated. What are the key challenges do you see here, and how to deal with these challenges and some obstacles that women face on this road?
Well, we have many challenges here, definitely. One of those, if we refer to the soft skills, which nowadays are very important, they are the like the thing that make possible that everything happens. Because I think it has to be with the being, it has to be with the self itself. So communication, negotiation, working, team working, um, like start thinking and developing those soft skills that are important in order to build with others, to overpass or overcome situations like the ones we are dealing nowadays with this pandemic. No, resiliency, um, and strength. Those are very important. So here we have a strong challenge, because women, we need to strengthen our self-esteem. We need to believe in us. We need to start working with others, no more at home or just um, like working in very closed groups. No, we have to connect with the world. If you have something, start communicating. That's very important. Open a blog or have social media to start communicating and sharing with others the knowledge you have with you and your dreams, or that purpose you have to serve the world. So that in terms of soft skills, I think that we have a huge challenge, because I think that female voices need to be heard around the world. All contexts, all countries, all situations need to be heard. So women, that's a calling for you, especially talking about the soft skills part. And not technical skills, of course. Technology is nowadays a tool for us, a tool to move forward, a tool to communicate, a tool to share, a tool to connect, a tool to build a different world, the future that we want to. So um, technical skills are very important nowadays. So our invitation is, or my invitation is, to start using technology, go to social media, but also think that you can create science and technology. So you can start, for example, developing or programming, coding, coding is like the language of the machines, of the technology. So once you know how to code, for example, you can start developing or creating software that is needed there in your context, or using or start working with these disruptive technologies that we have in this fourth industrial revolution, as blockchain, did machine learning. You can, of course, with the Internet of Things, you have a lot of possibilities. Data science, for example, that is very these days is one of the most hiring positions nowadays. So um, as we acquire the technology and the skills to develop science and technology, we have a step in the future. We have the possibility to build the future and do it with others and for others. So that's what I think are the most important challenges. So let's start teaching girls and women coding, of course, soft skills, and to start working from the being to the doing, let's say. No, so as you develop your inner part, you will be sure of yours, of the possibilities you have, connect with others, and start changing the world with others.
So connecting with others and sharing personal stories should be viewed as essential component of the future communication. The AI era seems to be becoming inevitable. We can already trace its beginning, its start. What are the risks of AI education when we consider the aspect of empathy of the real teacher who can support not only practically but also emotionally?
Yes, definitely social emotional education is most needed now than ever. Even as we're talking nowadays about artificial intelligence and all these technologies that are shaping the new future or the new present, the new normality, as the world call it now. Um, yes, definitely we have to like make a balance of preserving the empathy, preserving this human part. That's why we have to be very aware that this is human to human. This is not machine to machine or machine to human. No, we are humans and we have to preserve that part. So that is the importance of the social skills. That is the importance of helping people since early stages, early ages, to work in themselves, no, to work the inner part. What's your purpose in life? What do you want to be? What are your dreams? How do you want to contribute? This sense of contribution is very important to be developed since we are a child, because that will be the like the sparkling, like the important part for you to shine in the future, for you to have um, like reasons to live, to reasons to be happy, reasons to work with others, reasons you need, reasons, motivations. So I think it's the purpose of life. So we have to be sure that everybody has a purpose to work with, and to feel that you have something to contribute. But of course, there is a risk that if we only think that we are creating machines to compete with machines, we're making a huge mistake. No, Jack Ma, which is Alibaba's founder, says that we cannot compete with machines and we cannot teach our kids to compete with machines because they are smarter. Yes, artificial intelligence will be smarter than we are. Mm? So that's not the focus of creating science and technology. Uh, Machines should help us to build a better world, but not to replace human essence. So human to human is very important to remember all the time, and that's why women we have here like this important contribution, because we really care about humanity. We really care about this essence of being a human. You know, we care about the other. We ask others, hey, how are you? How's your family? We do care about the state of being of others. We have this sensibility to do it. So if we create the technology that is needed, I'm sure that women will create this technology with this sense of humanity. So for teachers, for everyone there that is teaching or working with children, for example, uh, tell them that yes, we will be working with technology. That's the future. That's inevitable. But we have to preserve the human to human essence. It's not machines to machines, it's human to humans. And empathy, this our feelings, our emotions, our emotional intelligence is what makes the difference with machines and with artificial intelligence. So it's a balance. It's a balance. But we humans are the ones in charge of making the difference with that. Indeed, we are creating artificial intelligence. So as we are humans creating artificial intelligence, so make sure that we're creating the proper artificial intelligence to help us build a better world.
There is just a golden phrase from you that we should develop artificial intelligence with a sense of humanity. And I think this sense of humanity shall be maintained on all the stages. And as you mentioned, involvement of women in development process, as well as indigenous people with their values and hopes, I think will give us some kind of balance. So it's humanity controlling machines and not vice versa. You have been having lectures at different universities for about 14 years now. Do you think that the attitudes towards women involvement in the field of STEM has somehow changes? Speaking about the attitudes of employers and companies.
Yes, during this almost 15 years, I've been sharing, learning from women around the world that are somehow interested in IT issues and entrepreneurship too. And I think it's been a process. Both employers and employees, especially women, have been understanding the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion in working environments, and of course in entrepreneurship ecosystems, because we women we have a lot to contribute, as I have said before. Yes, there's been a change. There's a lot to do. There's a huge gap still to to close. Here in Latin America, it's almost 9.5, or yes, per every 10 workers and STEM students, 2 are women, and it's the same relationship with workers, IT workers. You know, for every 10 IT workers, there are 2 women, and that's the media around the world. So the gap is huge, you know. So there's a lot of things to do there. I think that attitude in women have changed. They are becoming more conscious and self-confidence. toward their abilities and their talent to start working in IT jobs and teams, because let's say that the activism that many groups around the world have done as GeekGirls, let's say that it has it yes, it has shown results, no, but there's still a lot to do. And towards employers, I think that as these rankings of diversity, inclusion, and equity, and of course the social development goals, the sustainable goals, they have committed the world, the companies, and nations to start working really hard towards that, you know, closing those gaps. And we are at the beginning of the fourth industrial revolution. So what I think is that we have a lot of opportunities to be the the role models, to be the stars of this revolution. So the future is female. This revolution, this industrial revolution, should be female. I'm pretty sure of that. But yes, we have to start working since girls are in the school, promoting, showing them role models, showing them that they can be what they want to be, working with the purpose, connecting with others, using technology as a tool for them to get the goals they pursue. No, so generally speaking, things are becoming better every time, but the gap is huge.
It's very interesting to trace how girls are responding to the created opportunities in different countries, like scholarships or various trainings. They're always eager to take part in terms of their application, in terms of involvement. But at the same time, we have barriers like even currently in pandemics, we have problems with accessing the internet, or even if internet is present, there is problem of having laptop. If there is a huge family, girls could even have not their personal laptops. But I do really hope that this positive dynamics will still be traced, and we will reach this parity in all meanings. How would you describe the future of e-learning and STEM education?
Well, I understand that these days e-learning is like fashion in education, right? But I think that education should be blended. That must be a hybrid model, no? Because we human, if we really want to preserve this human part, this human essence, we need to be in contact with others. Of course, this communication. Imagine you are in Ukraine, I'm here in Bogota, in Colombia. So this is a possibility of technology, but we also need to be connected with others physically. So for me, e-learning is it's a media, it's a form, a way to do it, to educate, to keep connected, to receive information, to build things. But it's not all. That is important that we understand that e-learning is not the ultimate just goal of education. The important in education is that people learn, children, women, yes, that they learn with a purpose. How you learn? Okay, let me learn through the ways I can learn better. So I can learn through e-learning. I can learn through one-to-one education. I can learn with others. I mean, there are a lot of ways, and that's something that change makers and teachers and and policymakers and people that work in education must understand we have to ensure that people have all the tools around and the possibilities to learn as much as possible, but to learn at their possibilities. Yes. So of course, e-learning is a way for those that maybe cannot attend a classroom physically, because if we think that e-learning is all, for example, there are a lot of nowadays, this pandemic has shown us that this method requires a lot of, for example, technology accessibility, the access to technology, sorry, right? And we have a lot of areas or students in rural areas or uh, places where technology is not common, or connectivity, right? Because one thing is access to technology, to have a smartphone or to have a computer or laptop or to have um, any technical device, right? So one thing is that. The other is connectivity, connection, internet connection. So, and the other will be if you have the skills to learn, to navigate, to search for information. If you have the skills to have a proper and accurate method to learn through this method. So there are a lot of issues around that we still have to to face. And and for me, definitely, the future of education will be a balance between those forms of education. But the most important is that we secure that that people are learning, um, so we can teach them how to learn autonomously. And I think that will be like more how to say that, more challenging, because you have to self-regulate. You have to find the best way how you learn better. If you learn better in the morning, at night, with noise, without noise, with others, alone. Yes, those things that help us to develop the critical thinking, to develop flexibility, learnability, communication, teamwork, and those soft skills that the world is now claiming.
So if I got it right, the future education will be multidimensional. We shall be including more component of personal life mission, how to study, mental health probably, and all these aspects. And it will be also more personalized, so people would be able to create their studying schedule on their own, just being prepared on the initial skills of their mission and be driven by this rather motivation. It's inspiring.
Yes, and something that we like to add to that is that will be multidimensional, but also multidisciplinary. This person must learn a lot of issues that help her or him to connect with others in different disciplines. So it's no longer that I'm an engineer, so I work with all engineers. No, you have to understand that now diversity means multicultural environments. So start learning also a lot another language or languages, for example. Um, Work with other disciplines. So if you're from the social liberal, or if you're engineer, if you're science, or you're health, whatever, just you have to learn how to start working with others. So it is multidimensional in the way you can learn, but also multidisciplinary because you have to relate with other disciplines and learn how to do it and to communicate better with those cultures. So that's very important, and definitely we have to start working with the purpose of life, and we teachers, we have to inspire people and that we have to inspire and facilitate. I've said like, okay, tell me what's your purpose of life or your purpose in life, and I will help you, and I will support. You can start working with that and do amazing things with that. So that's what I think teachers we have to do. So let me know what your purpose in life is, and I will support you.
It's very exciting because throughout this approach, we are more likely to get like genius because in 80% the genius are those people who just love what they do, who are just in the right place and moving in the right direction, coinciding with their personal heartwarming motivation. So it's not just study for study, it's refining and unleashing uniqueness in each human person. Very exciting.
Yes, the world is now saying, some people are now saying that we have to teach the new generation the future works. No, that's true to a certain point. What I think is that we have to teach children to find their purpose in life and shine with that, because we won't want machines. Remember, we are humans, and we have to preserve that. And what makes us human is feelings, is emotions, is our purpose, is the sense of I want to contribute with that, and that is different from what a machine can do. Yes, machines can do many things, and they will do many things to replace in certain manner what people or humans do now. But in the future, we have to make the difference, and our difference is okay. What will be this contribution I can make to the world? So I think it's definitely important.
So in the core of this all, it's very similar to the Socrates, as the ancient Greek philosopher phrase, learn yourself, discover yourself, and then the whole world would be easy to understand, and it will be all one. Joanna, thank you so much for such enormously meaningful points. What would be your message as a final sentences of our conversation to inspire the world leaders and change makers worldwide on how to reach sustainability and how to promote sustainable technologies, human-driven technologies?
Wow. Well, one of the message I would like to send is work on you. Every person in the world is valued, is values, and we have a lot to contribute. Everyone has a gift, everyone has a talent, everyone has a purpose. So the only thing we have to do is to work on them, to work on this purpose, to put it into the service in the world, and that help us to be authentic. I think that we need authentic people. We need people that really trust and believe in their dreams, in the power of working with others, and and I think that's something that definitely will make the difference. Let's start working on us, in each one of us, in our inner, connect with others, that we can share these dreams and start working on that together. That help us to avoid selfishness. That help us to to keep going with this world that is absolutely individualist, and we need to start like, yes, building this mindset of we can make it together, we can do something for the world together, and we can live without harming each other, as we give each one of us the opportunity or the possibility to work, to build, develop, all that in our purpose or life.
Joanna, thank you so much. It was a deep pleasure, like in one breath, many points that like mosaics to be complementary in our vision of future technological and more human world. Thank you so much for your time and for this opportunity to share your story for development goals. We all should learn from one another and hear one another in order to move together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for this invitation. Thank you, Karina, for making this happen with all change makers around the world. And I hope we really keep in touch. For those watching this interview, you can find me through my social media